So on his chart, he shows me this one line, and it's just like a thickened border. He's like, see this? This is 0.7%. This is other. That'd be you. Hey everyone, it's Jason with TN2M Studios, and you're watching our sit-down stand-up comedy show. Before we get started, make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, you know, comment, all that good stuff. It may not do a lot for you, means the world to us, really helps us grow, and we really appreciate it. So, now that that is done, now that you've done this, now that you've done your part, let me do my part. Let me regale you with a comedic tale of how I was just Asian enough. Okay? This is pretty good. So buckle up, hold on to your seat. You can sit in the whole seat. You may only need the edge. No, it's not that exciting, but it is pretty good. So I've talked about it before, and if you haven't seen it, that's okay. We have them on our channel. Feel free to watch them. But I am a quarter Japanese. Okay, a lot of people don't realize this. And why would you? Because it's not like I look it. I don't look the part, and that's okay. That is just fine. Uh, I'm a closet Asian, I guess. Okay. What happened was, my grandfather met my grandmother. My grandmother was full Japanese. They met right at the tail end of the war, and they fell in love. They ended up getting married like 3 separate times, just depending on where they were stationed. But here we are. Here I am. My mom's half Japanese. I'm a quarter. Okay. Now, there's some stigmas. There's some stereotypes that happen when people find out that you're part Asian. Okay, let's review them, okay? So, stigma number one, or stereotype number one, okay? I have to know martial arts. I have to be a master of martial arts, which to be fair, I I do know martial arts. I do. I do. It wasn't because I was Asian though, but I do know martial arts. Okay. Stereotype number two. Okay. Stereotype number two. We prefer sushi over any other meal. That too is also true. I could eat sushi anytime, day or night, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. I could have sushi anytime. I don't know if it's because I'm Asian, but I could have it anytime. Um, Stereotype number three, that Asians are less endowed in specific areas, which, I'm not even going to get into. Okay, I'm not even going to worry about that. So you shouldn't worry about that either. But that's beyond the point. So I'm growing up this closet Asian. Okay, and I get this call one day. Now I graduated late 90s, like class of 98. So we didn't have, not everyone had cell phones. We barely had beepers then, and if you don't know what they are, that's fine too. But we didn't have cell phones everywhere. They were maybe in your car if you had one at all. They just weren't out yet. So uh, but yeah, senior year in high school, I get this call from someone. They're like, "Hey, we want to take you on a tour of our college, and we want to chat with you." Now, where I grew up, there's one college that's nearby. It's a historically black college and university. Uh, they're pretty good, but I did not want to go to school in my hometown. I didn't want to go to college in my hometown. I wanted to venture out. I wanted to explore the world. I didn't want to just stay where I was, because where I was a very small town. But I'm like, you know what? I'll meet with them. Whatever, whatever. So I meet with this guy. He gives me a tour of the campus and stuff. And while he's doing that, I'm like, man, how did you get my information? Like, how did you find me? Because I didn't apply. And he goes, well, I got it from your guidance counselor at school. You're part of the gifted program. And before I go any further, I know what you guys are thinking. You're like, of course he is. He's part Asian. Like he's gonna be in the gifted program, whatever. That's gonna happen. I bet he plays. I bet he plays like violin and stuff too. Which I don't. Okay, that's a terrible stereotype. I didn't play violin, but but my mom did. Okay, so lay off. My mom did. But no, I was in the gifted program, um, and so I'm like, okay, like that's what guidance counselors did. They shopped you out to different places. That's fine. I didn't mind that, and I was like, okay, cool. So he gives me a tour, and then he's like, okay, let's go to my office. I'm like, all right, sure. So I go to his office, um, and he's like, so what do you think? And I was like, well, it's pretty nice. I don't mind it. I don't think it's really for me, um, but why me? Like I was in the gifted program, but I wasn't like top of my class. I wasn't bottom of my class. Like I was like I graduated with honors. I was in the top like 10% or whatever, top 30, 40 kids in my class. But because like I said, it was a small school. But like I wasn't anything. I didn't think I was anything special to look at. And he goes, well, I'm glad you asked. So he reaches in his desk and he pulls out this paper. Oh my goodness. On this paper was this like pie chart or pie graph. Okay. Had this big, big chunk, and it was like 93%. He goes, this is our student population. 93% were African American. Do you have a problem with that? And I was like, no, no, I don't care. Like where I grew up, it was very diverse as far as Caucasians, African Americans, black, white, whatever you want to call it. Like I grew up very mixed with that. So that wasn't a big deal for me. I was like, no, it's fine. And I was like, okay, great. Like 7% is Caucasian. And I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. He goes, but see this line here? And it wasn't even a line. It was like the border was thicker in one section. And he goes, that's like 0.7% or something like that. And he goes, that's other. That'd be you. And I was like, what? He goes, yeah, yeah, because you're part Asian. So that would be you. You would be the other. And I was like, are you kidding me? He goes, wait, before you say anything, we want to offer you full tuition. We want to offer you room and board, and we want to give you a new computer. Now, remember, I said this was like late 90s, going to be early 2000s. Computers were not as cheap. Um, so yeah, if you get offered this, you should take it, right? And I'm like, I don't know. And he's like, well, just think about it. You would be the other. I was recruited because I was just Asian enough. Now, needless to say, I didn't end up going to that school. I don't know if it was a bad choice because I did. It just wasn't for me. It just wasn't for me. So I didn't go to that college. But the fact that I was considered just Asian enough blew my mind. So I want to know, have you guys ever been in that kind of situation where you're just just enough to get your foot in the door? And if so, did you take it? Let me know in the comments. Guys, that's my time. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed me sharing a little bit of my life with you. Hope you had a good laugh. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to comment. Don't forget to like. hit the notification bell, share this with everyone, help us grow the channel. And that's going to do it for me. I will see you later. Have a good one. Bye-bye.